If you're going to make something different, make them different enough. Otherwise, what's the point? Obviously, hiring a skilled designer should always be your go-to solution. Never underestimate the power of a professional design to lend legitimacy, trust, and a great reputation to your brand. But we all know there are those times when you need something small created right now, or you're just starting out and you might not be ready to outsource it yet. That's when knowing these basic concepts will come in handy and make you look like a rock star. First of all, I want to say that any design rule can be broken. But it's only cool if you know what the rules are first. That's how you get away with anything, right? You know the consequences, so you can sidestep them to get what you want. As my dad always said, if you're gonna do something wrong, do it right. If you're watching this video, you're probably a design newbie, so let's just stick to the guidelines, okay? There are many design principles, but let's start with these. Number 1, balance. Balance is the first thing you'll encounter when you start designing because it directly influences where you place the elements of your design in the layout. It's important because an imbalanced design makes viewers feel a little wonky and tense. There are 2 types of balance. There's symmetrical balance, which means that the elements on the left and right side of your composition are essentially the same. This is the easiest to execute, either by centering everything on your graphic or putting similar elements on either side. It's simple and lovely. Or you can have asymmetrical balance, which means that the elements on the left and right side of your composition aren't the same, but they have the same visual weight. Okay, so what does visual weight even mean? Visual weight is influenced by a variety of factors like quantity, color, shape, scale, and position. A big white square has the same visual weight as a small black square. The white square takes up more space, but the black square looks darker and therefore heavier to the eye. Likewise, a big orange square has the same visual weight as a dozen smaller orange squares, because they take up the same amount of space and the same visual weight. So if we spread these orange squares out a little more, they start taking up more space, and therefore they have a greater visual weight. So now we need to mess with another variable, like size or shape, to balance the composition. Lastly, there's radial balance, where similar elements radiate from a central point evenly. That means that elements on the same radius need to be visually equal and balanced. Our second basic design principle is spacing and proximity. Group related items together. Design is just essentially organization. Related items need to be placed in the same space to make sense to a reader. It keeps them from hunting around the composition, trying to make sense of everything. Keep in mind that it's not always as simple as keeping related items together, but it also involves keeping unrelated items separate. Make sure there's enough space between elements too. This will help our clients or customers read information in digestible chunks. Okay, next we have scale, hierarchy, and emphasis. Here's another rule to write down. If you're going to make things different, make them different enough. Otherwise, what's the point? When you're creating any graphic, think about the hierarchy of information. What does a person need to know first? If they only look at your graphic for a split second, what do you want them to take away? That needs to be the element that is most emphasized on your design. Create a hierarchy from there. What information is most important for them to know next? What's least important? Just like with visual weight, there are a number of ways to create emphasis and hierarchy. You can make your most important information the largest. You can make it a different color. You can make it a different font weight or typeface, or you could do all 3. Then make sure remaining information gets designed in a way that lends visual weight proportionate to its importance. Okay, mix all this together and you just juiced up your brand graphics all by yourself. High five! Done. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this and found this helpful. If you want some more design tips and tricks from me and ways to juice up your brand graphics, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Thank you.